pledge.
30 mile an hour.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, everyone. Today is Tuesday, June 11th, 2024. The time is 5:30 p.m. The meeting of the Greensburg Board of Works is called to order. This time, please silence electronic devices. Amy, would you please call the roll?
Jamie Kane.
Here.
Lauren Huber. Here. Robin Meyer.
Here.
Glenn Tebby. Mayor Joshua Marsh.
Here. You all should have received a copy of the minutes from May 14th, the May 15th executive session, and the June 10th executive session. Any edits, additions, or corrections to those? If not, those will stand approved as presented. There being no old business, we'll move directly to new business. John, you're up first. Thanks for joining us this evening. You've got an update first, I would imagine?
I do, yes, sir.
Perfect.
All right. Good evening, board. Good to be back up here in front of you guys today. This is hopefully going to be one of our last updates that we have for you guys, as there's been a lot of progress going on out on site, as you guys are going to see here shortly. We'll jump in here to the site work update. As you guys can see from this drone photo that I took earlier today, all of the binder course is completed for the asphalt. You can see the Baroshell termination for that cul-de-sac has been completed outside of the top coat and the striping. That will be done tomorrow. So that work is looking to be done tomorrow and complete in a day. The site seating, as you can see in some areas, is a little bit hard to tell. A lot of that seating and straw is down. It just looks to appear as dirt from the drone video, but that is completed as well. And that'll conclude for the site work update. So a lot going on out there right now, but everything is wrapping up very quickly. In regards to the street department, really at a high level, everything is done for that project outside of the fiber. The fiber is expected to be lit and turned online the 24th of June. It is installed right now, it's just not been terminated and hooked up. That is a dark fiber run from the fire station, so they're at the mercy of the fire station fiber right now, but everything else is completed in that area in order to get that up and operational. So that's a life safety issue because the fire alarm needs network in order to be connected and occupied. So we are anticipating a late occupancy of June for that building right now. That's when fiber will be completed. The generator has also been installed. They were hooking that up when I was out there earlier today. The commissioning on that will be completed end of this week as well. Here's a few photos of the inside of the maintenance bay, which shows the truck lift for the maintenance, and then you can see the main corridor space inside there furnished with the equipment. All the finishes are completed as well, and the conference room table has been completed also. Now onto the fire station project update, which we are in the last mile of. I believe everybody had the opportunity to walk the site last Friday in order to be able to see this, but the building shell is nearly completed here. The north overhead doors, which you can't see, you'll be able to see in the drone video, but those have been completed. We are waiting for the operators for those to be installed so they can be operational. The south four-fold doors are expected to start either on Friday of this week or Monday of next. That's about a 4-day period that those will take in order to get installed. Now we'll kind of close in that space. The exhaust extraction from MagnaGrip will be starting tomorrow. And that's about a 6 to 10 day install period in order to get that exhaust extraction hooked up. The epoxy bay floors were completed. They are cured. You can walk on them now. They look fantastic. They turned out really, really good. As far as the interior goes, finish coat on walls is expected to be completed end of June, which is going to kind of transition us into a punch period. I do have Toby Holcomb with Meyer Najum with me here today. I wanted him to give us a little bit more of an update from a completion schedule and a closeout perspective, and also be able to talk about some of the delays that we've had with the elevator install.
Sure. Hi, everyone. Some of you haven't met me. I'm Toby Holcomb with Meyer Najum. I'm a senior vice president. Been there quite a while. So We've had a couple of hurdles, as John has mentioned, the elevator being the major one that has pushed back on furniture move-in. We have been dealing with them since March of '24. Everything was go, 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 and then we keep getting pushed back. Well, what we found out is manpower is an issue. I talked to the general manager of TK, which is ThyssenKrupp Elevators, on Friday, and he's trying to get anybody he can from Illinois, Ohio, or Michigan. If they get free before his crew in Indianapolis gets free, they're gonna try and set them down so we can get this installed. Being said, on the elevator, that pushes us back to like mid-July. So what we're wanting to do is we've changed up the schedule. We met with our group yesterday, last night, and then our guys today. Talked to John a little bit about it, but we're wanting to do 2 punch visits, and the first one would be the admin area. Since the elevator has to be, it's gonna be installed starting Monday, but we have a lot of work after it's installed. They take 6 days, and then we have 3 weeks worth of work to get it back, drywall, finish, sprinklers, lights, all that installed. So why we wanna move the admin area, which would be everything, the second floor, first floor, basically from the elevator areas. And what we'll do is we're gonna section these off, what they're called zip walls. So they have to unzip a wall to go through. Our crew, we have 4 people on site now. We'll have some more next week that will be policing these areas so they don't just walk through there. We're gonna have booties and everything else because we're gonna finish. We're gonna finish all that area, down the stairway on the west side, and then go down to the first floor. So we're gonna finish that area, section off the elevator, and wanting to do the elevator at a later date, which is, I think it's the 17th of July. But that way, we can go ahead and get our inspections done the day before and the day of the final inspection for the elevators, so that's the 17th. We would also we feel very comfortable and confident that July 2nd is the punch date, that we'll go ahead and do the outside, the landscaping, the outside, and we're pretty confident we'll have the apparatus bay complete. Because like John said, the overhead, the bifold doors in front are supposedly shipping tomorrow, so we'll see. We're trying to track them down now. But we've had some hurdles. Generators, one, I think you all know about the generator. But besides that, we're gonna turn a great building over and everybody will love it. Good.
Thanks, Toby. We'd asked John and Toby to join us to talk about that a little bit, because I know over the last couple of months there's been discussion about dates and times, and I think that helps shed a lot of light on what our final glide path looks like. So, any questions for Toby? Yeah, thanks for making the effort.
Good. All right, guys.
Bottom line is we're expecting a certificate of occupancy on July 10th. So that doesn't necessarily mean we're going to be moving in July 10th, but from a life safety perspective, they can begin that process of moving people in. So that's what we are shooting for right now, and we are, again, like Toby said, very confident in that date. On to the last slide here, in regards to the budget and what Toby had discussed in regards to the schedule, there has been no changes in the guaranteed maximum price outside of the GMP amendment for those items that you see there that were approved a few months ago. And as I just discussed, that CVO is now expected to be July 10th. That does conclude my update for this evening. Are there any questions that I can address? Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, John. Chris Ramey, you're here this evening to talk about the fair parade. Hard to believe it's already that time.
I feel like I just finished the first one. So it's gonna be the same area, Ireland Street, and then the off streets, which is like South Ireland, West Forsyth, West Wilson, West Scobie, West Brant, and West Thomas, with McKee just being kind of an access street. We would be closing them at 1 p.m. is when we will start having people line up for the parade. Parade will take off at 3 p.m. unless anything big happens, which we're hoping not, obviously. The only big difference this year is we're not turning into the fairgrounds. I know that's out in the county a little bit, but we are just going to continue on Park Road up to where the sweet shop is, and people will turn left or right there. It will hopefully speed up the parade a little bit. I know that Josh is probably thinking, don't speed it up.
That's right.
That was the first thing he told me when I first took over, was we need to talk about the speed of this
That's
thing.
right, when you walk at 2 miles an hour. Right, chief?
That's exactly right.
That's right.
So, other than that, I'm just looking to be able to close that. I will say, I did send an email, and Chief McNeely has wrote back and let me know that his team is happy to help in any way. I can't say enough about the city and all the help you guys give me during this day.
Perfect. Well, thanks for your effort to do it. I know it takes a lot of effort to arrange everybody and
It does.
get them all in the right place. Same thing as always, any issues, board. I know the emails went out to Mark and Nate and Mike as well, so it's all good on our end. Would entertain a motion to approve as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made by Glenn, seconded by Lauren. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Perfect.
Thank
Thanks,
you, Board.
Chris.
Thank you, Mayor.
Is Liz here? Oh, yeah, right there, perfect, come on up.
Snuck in when
Liz-
you were
Liz Owens with the Tri-Cap is here for the 4th of July.
Yes, very similar. Ours is a little smaller though. So as everyone's seen the little diagram, it's the same request as last year. We'll start the parade at 10, so if we could have the roads closed by 9:15, it's a pretty quick setup. And it is a super short parade, so if it's, only till 10:30, really, do we really need the roads closed? You can use your judgment on if you think it should be edited, but we'll be lining up down Franklin. And then those crossovers is Walnut, and then we usually request up to Washington, but we use North. Any questions?
I think so.
Okay.
All those in favor of approving, signify by saying aye.
You want a motion?
Oh, we need a motion.
I'll make the motion. Second.
Motion's been made by Jamie, seconded by Robin. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
Thank you.
Thanks, Liz. Chief McNeely.
Well, this is the night of closures, so I'm here to talk to you about the closures for the community cookouts. We have three that we need to talk about. The first one being this coming Thursday, June 13th. This is going to be at Westridge Edition. We're looking at closing North Wedgewood between Tarkington and Rebecca Parkway for about 3 or 4 hours while we host our community cookout there. We have been in contact with the residents about the upcoming closure, if you approve it tonight. The second one is on August 8th, and that's 4th Street between Park Street and Carver Street. That's our National Night Out event that we take over North Park, and we park a lot of our fire apparatus and recovery equipment out there on 4th Street. And then on October 10th is Scobie Street between Broadway and Montfort Street. That's going to be the area right in front of Sid's Wash and Clean, if you know where that is. I just found out today that there's new ownership down there. I did not know that.
Yes.
And so they're doing some communicating with Vince. I think Vince is the new owner. So Ben. Okay. So Gina is helping me out with some communication there to make sure they're okay if we kind of take over their parking lot, because that's kind of a smaller area than what we're used to. But that would be on October 10th. Again, Scobie between Broadway and Montfort. So those would be the 3 closures that I'm coming to you for tonight.
Those are successful events, they have been, and so I see no reason to be objectionable, so I would move we approve the request.
I'll second it.
Motion's made Glenn, seconded by Lauren. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Perfect.
Next thing on my part is conditional offers of employment. Again, thank you for your time last night in the executive session with the interviews of the applicants. After our meeting last night, we discussed a little further. We don't have any reservations outside of what was discussed last night. So it'll be up to you on what applicants to present. We would suggest applicants 2, 1, and 4 in that order.
I'll make that motion. Second.
Motion's been made by Jamie, seconded by Robin. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
Thank you.
Tell them congratulations and welcome to the team. Yeah, thanks to you and your team for all the work on that.
Yes.
Chief Sturmer, you've got a promotion.
Good.
Good evening, Board. We have a member coming off a year probation. Firefighter John Hammersmith has successfully completed all of his probationary requirements and has met all the rules to be promoted to first-class firefighter. His year up was on Monday of this week, so just asking for the formality to move him for pay and benefit related issues to firefighter first class.
Effective this pay week.
Correct, effective this pay week, yes.
Congratulations, and I would so move.
Second.
Motion's been made by Glenn, second by Jamie. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Perfect.
Thank you.
Congratulations to you as
Thank you.
well. Let's go. Donna, you've got a utility rate proposal.
Yes, it is that time already. I don't know where the last 3 years have gone, but this is normal for us to analyze the rates every 3 years. This would cover the next 3 years' rates, beginning in 2025. This board is responsible for the sewer and stormwater, and your share of the study would be $15,000.
This should take approximately 3 months, 2 months?
Probably. It takes a bit. We review our capital improvement plan, which is always rolling, always has some surprises in it, and looks at historical data as well. Any projections we see on everything, so it does take a bit. We are hoping everything will run smoothly, and new rates, if it's necessary, would be effective January 1 of 2025.
And the financial group of Reedy is the agency that's going to be redoing this work for us?
Yes, yes.
They did it 3 years ago for us.
They did.
Or 4 years ago for us.
Yes.
Okay. Any questions? The water board will also agree to the water board will also consider this at their next meeting.
Prudent to keep on top of things, so. Yeah. makes
Agreed.
sense to do.
Motion to approve the agreement?
I think I just did.
Okay. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Thanks, Don.
Thank you.
And then you also have a leak adjustment.
I do. It's quite a large one. It is for account number 1025120-04. They had a busted pipe under their house during the freezing winter weather in January. It leaked for a few days, and we shut it off as soon as we were notified, and they just did fix it. We don't turn the service back on until they fixed it, so it was repaired. The leak amount is $986.29 and $98.63 in penalty to write off. And that is just the sewer portion.
State policy routine, so, but necessary that we say yes.
Right out.
So I would move approval. Second.
Motion's made by Glenn, seconded by Robin. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
Thank you.
Zeke, you've got task order 22-01, amendment number 1.
2201, correct. Good evening, Board, Mayor. A couple items here to kind of chat about, so we'll start with this amendment number 1 to task order number 2201. Essentially, the big change is the cost to kind of prepare this task order number 2, this change order number 2. Under compensation, it's going from $50,000 to $72,500, which is an increase of $22,500, bringing the grand total from $146,000 to $168,500. Well, I want to get into a little bit of kind of what that cost basically entails under this change order number 2. So as you know, this is regarding the UV disinfection system upgrade to plant, which has been going on for many, many months. As we get into that upgrade and replacement, we noticed there was a gate that was just south of the UV system, and it was just locked up in place. We tried to crank it up and down. It's just that it just wouldn't move. So after much effort, we finally gave up on it. The cost to replace that stainless steel gate is $44,333. So it's just kind of a necessary evil to be able to shut that off in order to kind of do maintenance on that or divert flow if we were to need to. The additional change point to that is also the replacement of a ultraviolet flow transducer and transmitter, as well as a DO meter also for that area. The current flow meter that's in place is almost 20 years old. It has been giving us a little bit of problems. It is calibrating every year. The signal's been a little sketchy. We're not confident that it's always accurate, so it's just a good time to replace that as well. The cost of that to replace is $30,748. I'm bringing the grand total to $71,331 to wrap up that change order number 2. So I'm here in front of you to get approval to purchase that change order number 2 so we can complete the UV disinfection upgrade at the plant.
This delays the completion too because of that, right?
A little bit, yeah.
So amendment number 1 is necessary because of change order number 2.
Correct. That is the cost.
The engineering side of it.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
This is the UV system we've been replacing over the last year because that is our final step in the process, which is required by
Our
IDM.
EPDS permit, yeah.
And so we have to have these features to also control the flow through that.
Correct.
So it's sort of one of those things, by owning a wastewater plant, this is required.
It's exactly what it is.
Let's do business.
Any questions for Zeke on that? The rest of the system, I did go visit Zeke about a month ago.
Yep,
We went down and kind of walked around and looked. The rest of the system's in, looks good, it's working.
Yep.
They're still tweaking some stuff, but it's quite an impressive piece that just sits in the water all day.
Yeah, it's a big unit.
Any other questions for Zeke? If not, would entertain a motion to approve amendment number 1 first.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's made by Robin, second by Jamie. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? And then we take a motion to approve change order number 2.
So moved.
Motion's been made by Robin, second by Glenn. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Perfect. Thanks, Zeke. Appreciate it. Zach, you've got an update for Franklin Street.
Good evening, Board. Franklin Street has been going well. Glow Shooty has been working constantly, and we've thankfully hit no major hurdles, so they are moving along as scheduled. They are working on curb this week, plan to get all the curb in the mid-block area poured and done, and then once that curb is done, they can bring the electricians in to put all their conduit in behind the curb and on the side of the sidewalk by the courthouse and get all that in before they finish up the sidewalk and curb in that mid-block area. I want to give credit to our water department crews. They were in there getting all the meter pits relocated and updated with new lines the last 2 weeks, and we're able to knock that out and get that done. Working alongside Shooty, and everybody was happy. There have been, I would say, there are no real complaints really from the business owners. They've asked for a few things here and there just to kind of help their businesses, but for the most part, they're all very happy with the work that's going on and the little impact that's happening to their businesses as far as what we can control.
Still on schedule?
Still on schedule.
Completion is?
September 1st is substantial completion. They'll have trees to plant and all that stuff after that, but that won't be till November when that gets into season.
Any other questions for Zach? Perfect.
I will say, while I got you, July meeting, we will have our Washington Street bids to open, so we'll have that at the next meeting.
Very good.
Thanks. Mark, do you want to give an update on heavy trash numbers, please?
Good evening, Board. Apologies, we have to wait on a couple of vendors to get us our quantities and our volumes because we don't have that information as we go through the week. And I think Friday I got the bill from Best Way, and I also got the bill from Decatur Hills, so we know Our volume was up a reasonable amount. The most consistent way to measure is the tonnage, or the pounds. Last year, we picked up 250,000 pounds of trash in 5 days. This year, we picked up approximately 310,000 pounds in the 5 days, so we had about a 60,000 pound increase for the heavy trash for the week.
I commend your team. They did a great job this year, and as always, but they also were able to, with our sort of reduced scope, we've been able to kind of get it inside the work week, which is great, because that makes their week
I believe
better.
we had 4 hours of overtime in the entire week. So we have worked at making it more efficient and not requiring any additional manpower despite the additional volume.
We had any major problems, people not following the rules, like what we won't pick up, or?
Yeah, I think we probably issued maybe 20 notifications to residents of what we wouldn't take. In other words, I know we was getting a lot of calls throughout the week, and people say, well, I want to put this out. And kind of an unwritten rule that everybody on the trucks followed was, if what they put out, in other words, no construction debris. Okay, if you got 3 2x4s that would fit in your trash toter, we're gonna pick them up. You know,
But what we were getting into and we implemented that was people had whole bathrooms and kitchens
and we left a couple of those. We found 2 instances where homeowners had completely gutted a bathroom and redone it, and they put everything out to the curb. Those were left in place, and I will say that we did not have to pick anything up the following week and bill anybody. It was all moved next week occurred. So at least people seen the notices, respected them, and went ahead and took appropriate action. So it worked out pretty well.
Thank you.
I know we've had some discussion about whether we want to have them semi-annually or just go to the one. I guess we need to decide that pretty quickly if that's what we wish to do.
I think I was the one that asked about it, because I know it was, but.
Yeah, and I don't know, in other words, last year, because we got that much more this time in the spring, and we moved it back a little, does that mean the possibility that there'd be even less in the fall? So maybe it's not as important.
Or maybe we wait and evaluate after we do the fall. Normally we do it, what, in August, or?
We do it, yes, in August.
Yeah, so it's, I mean, maybe we reevaluate in August,
Okay,
after the August.
we'll do it one more time.
Yeah, and then we'll
We'll see what the numbers are like in August then.
But it'd be nice if we're gonna do that, and we're only gonna go to once a year, that maybe we communicate that very well versus.
I know
changing
we had a
history.
reduction in volume last year in August from the previous. I don't remember the exact number, but we were down like 30,000 pounds. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens. If we continue to go down, it means that people are doing a better job of getting ready for it in the spring. And I think most people, we've backed it up till this year's almost the last of May. They have a little more time, the weather's a little more conducive for them to get things out. You know, and the weather breaks, everybody wants to get things cleaned up. They've looked at it all winter, now they're tired of it. Okay, thank you.
Approval of the claims, you all received a copy of that. Any questions? If not, take a motion to approve those as presented.
So moved.
Motion's been made by Glenn,
Second.
seconded by Jamie. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Just as a reminder, you've got some information over there on the side column, but tomorrow, or Thursday night, is our first public safety community cookout. Please come out and join us. We're going to be out sort of behind like the movie theaters, the Greensburg Community School Corporation building out in that region. We hope everyone will come out. I think the fire department's going to make dinner for everybody, and we'll have all the stuff as the chief mentioned. It's the first one of the year. We are doing 3 of those this year. There's a couple less than in the past because of the eclipse and the way the calendar falls. So please come out and join that. Anything else? If not, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion's been made by Ron. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.